We are continuing in Ruth, and in fact, Ruth is only 4 chapters, and we're going to knock all 4 of them out 4 days in a row as we carry on our 3-year journey through the Bible. Now, Naomi had a relative on her husband's side. He was a prominent man of noble character from Elimelech's family. His name was Boaz. Ruth the Moabitess asked Naomi, "Will you let me go into the fields and gather fallen grain behind someone with whom I find favor?" Naomi answered, "Go ahead, my daughter." So Ruth left and entered the field to gather grain behind the harvesters. She happened to be in the portion of the field belonging to Boaz, who was from Elimelech's family. Later, when Boaz arrived from Bethlehem, he said to the harvesters, "The Lord be with you." "The Lord bless you," they replied. Boaz asked his servant who was in charge of the harvesters, "Whose young woman is this?" The servant answered, "She is the young Moabite woman who returned with Naomi from the territory of Moab." She asked, "Will you let me gather fallen grain among the bundles behind the harvesters?" She came and has been on her feet since early morning, except that she rested a little in the shelter. Then Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, don't go and gather grain in another field, and don't leave this one, but stay here close to my female servants. See which field they are harvesting and follow them. Haven't I ordered the young men not to touch you? When you are thirsty, go and drink from the jars the young men have filled." She fell face down, bowed to the ground, and said to him, "Why have I found favor with you, so that you notice me, although I am a foreigner?" Boaz answered her, "Everything you have done for your mother-in-law since your husband's death has been fully reported to me. How you left your father and mother and your native land, and how you came to a people you didn't previously know. May the Lord reward you for what you have done, and may you receive a full reward from the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for refuge." "My Lord," she said, "I have found favor with you, for you have comforted and encouraged your servant, although I am not like one of your female servants." At mealtime, Boaz told her, "Come over here and have some bread and dip it in the vinegar sauce." So she sat beside the harvesters, and he offered her roasted grain. She ate and was satisfied, and had some left over. When she got up to gather grain, Boaz ordered his young men, "Let her even gather grain among the bundles, and don't humiliate her. Pull some stalks from the bundles for her and leave them for her to gather. Don't rebuke her." So Ruth gathered grain in the field until evening. She beat out what she had gathered, and it was about 26 quarts of barley. She picked up the grain and went into the town where her mother-in-law saw that she had gleaned. She brought out what she had left over from her meal and gave it to her. Her mother-in-law said to her, "Where do you gather barley today, and where did you work? May the Lord bless the man who noticed you." Ruth told her mother-in-law whom she had worked with and said, "The name of the man I worked with today is Boaz." Then Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "May the Lord bless him, because he has not abandoned his kindness to the living or the dead." Naomi continued, "The man is a close relative. He is one of our family redeemers." Ruth the Moabitess said, "He also told me, 'Stay with my young men until they have finished all of my harvest.'" So Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "Ruth, my daughter, it is good for you to work with his female servants, so that nothing will happen to you in another field." Ruth stayed close to Boaz's female servants and gathered grain until the barley and the wheat harvest were finished, and she lived with her mother-in-law. Ruth chapter 2. Every day I'm making a little announcement at the end. This is a late podcast. I was tired last night and didn't record one, so I apologize for the late delivery, but this is as I record this, and the day this is scheduled to be, if I'd done it last night, is December 29th. We got just 3 days left of the year. So the New Year's coming. What are you doing? What plans do you have in regard to devotions or going through the Bible? Obviously, this podcast is reading through the Bible in 3 years, which is a wonderful pace. It's fantastic. It's very helpful for people who've never done this before, or people that just can't handle great amounts of reading. And also, this is very nice for people who just want to listen because they like listening better than reading, despite the fact they have to put up with my mistakes and occasionally interjected comments. But I read through the Bible every year, often multiple times through a couple different plans. I'm not trying to brag, it's just what I do. I've been reading through the Bible since I was 15, so it's almost 4 decades now. So some friends of mine and I are going through a reading plan this year called the Navigator's Bible Reading Plan, and I want to invite you to join us on that. So in the comments, the first comment on this video, I share a link to the plan that we're doing if you have the Bible app from YouVersion on your phone. And if not, you can download that app. It's a wonderful app. And it's got so many Bible reading plans, and you can join us in that reading plan. And you'll be listed among myself and several people where we can, see who's been reading the plan. So there's an accountability there. It's easy accountability. I'm not going to chase after you usually for not reading. I don't do that. I do occasionally stick a comment in once in a while, encouraging people, hey, if you've been off it for a while, don't fall off. Just jump in it today and forget about what you missed. But the Navigator's Bible Reading Plan is a neat plan. It reads through the Bible in 1 year. But the way it does it is it has 25 days per month of reading. So obviously we have no 25-day months. So February's got 3 spare days, and all the other months have 5 or 6 spare days. This is wonderful because we're humans, and not all of us are so disciplined or have a schedule that easily accommodates getting our reading in every day. I work a 12-hour job. When I work, my schedule's so goofy. If you don't look at it, it's confusing. I work at a 24/7, 365-day facility, including holidays. And my shifts are 12 hours. Now, they all add up to me working an average of 40 hours a week. But some days I have a 2-day week with 12 hours per day. Once every 12 weeks I have one of those. I've got a 3-day week in there a lot, and I have 4-day weeks a lot, not including overtime. And when I work, I have an hour-plus drive to work. Sometimes it's hard to get reading in. Well, the Navigator's Bible Reading Plan, you only have 25 readings per month, 300 per year. That allows you in the year 65 days to just either mess up, forget, or just, hey, I had a busy day and I couldn't get to it. And you can stay on course. So I have the link in the notes, in the comments. That'll be the first of 2 links that I have in there. The second link underneath it, if you don't want to join us on the plan and have your name in there, or it can be a screen name, not everybody's name is real there, and you just want to do it solo, it's a link to the Navigator's website where you can print out an actual copy of the schedule, and it's a nice schedule. They got boxes so you can check off as you read and track where you're at. Now, each day has 4 readings in it. It's got a gospel reading, and then it has a Old Testament reading. It also has a poetic reading, so the third box is just Job through Song of Solomon, not in that order, but it covers that range of books in that third column. And the fourth column is the rest of the New Testament besides the Gospels. So 4 columns to read from on a daily basis. Obviously, if your day, that's another way. If you have a rough day, instead of having a day where you just miss completely, you cover some of them and cover the others of them another day. It's a wonderful plan. That second link is so you can just print out the schedule from the Navigator's page. You can print it out on paper. You don't have to join us in the group, and you can use that and track your readings for the year. And if even reading that in 1 year seems like too much of a task, another thing you can do is print out that piece of paper and do 2 columns in the year. You can do the Gospel and the Old Testament portion for 1 year, and then the second year you can do columns 3 and 4. You can do the poetic books with the rest of the New Testament, read through the Bible in 2 years. Wonderful plans, just wanting to encourage you to do something this year. And if that's just too much and you're following this and listening to this every day, well, thank you for that, and thank you for allowing me to help you on your journey. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you here tomorrow.